Come on. Come on. Sorry, I'll be right with you. Come on. And no. Hey there, and welcome to episode 25 of Jazzy-Bytes, the video game channel where we talk about all things video game related, with me, Jazz. I hope you're keeping well. Me, not so much. As you've probably gathered, I have just missed out yet again on pre-ordering the PlayStation 5 prior to Christmas. I've had no luck being able to get hold of a Nintendo Switch, and there is absolutely zero chance of getting hold of the new Xbox at this point. I'm in the same boat as a lot of other people. I know there's going to be a lot of disappointed fans out there. However, not all is lost. There are stacks of previous generations that you can be considering playing this Christmas. And on this episode, I want to look at a few viable alternatives to the big three. I want to see how you can almost match the experience of the new consoles, but with a handful of old consoles. So sit back, relax, grab that cup of tea, and let's get cooking. Well, I did say let's get cooking. Right, first on my list for your alternative video game Christmas dinner is going to be the Wii U. You're going to need the base unit. This was the precursor to the Switch, by the way, and that's part of the reason that I'm recommending it today. You're going to need both the base unit, you're also going to need the gamepad to go with it. You're going to leave it on a slow simmer for about 45 minutes. Now the reason I'm recommending this is there's approximately 775 different seasonings that you can have with this system. A good alternative to the Switch. And to be honest, a lot of these games were out on the Wii U before they were released on the Switch. Let's have a look at just a few of those seasonings. As mentioned, there were 700 plus seasonings released for the Wii U, and here are just a few of my favourites. So we have Zelda Breath of the Wild. This was almost the reason to buy the Switch, so why not buy this fantastic action RPG set in a beautiful open world of Hyrule for this system instead. A cheeky little side favourite is going to be Avengers Battle for Earth. This is a really good game that makes really good use of the touchpad. If you're a fan of Pokemon, then the only Pokemon game released for the Wii U was Pokken Tournament, mixing up the Pokemon characters with a Tekken style of fighting. It wouldn't be a Nintendo system without Super Mario Kart, and Super Mario Kart 8 is one of the best versions of Mario Kart. FYI, there are only minor differences between this and the Switch version. Keeping in with the Zelda theme, why not have a look at Zelda the Wind Waker? This is the first excuse to play the GameCube version of the game, but in HD. It's absolutely stunning. If you want a little break from video games and fancy having a bit of a migraine instead, you can always give Super Smash Bros. Wii U a go. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a Nintendo system without a few Mario games, and here are two of my favourites. We have Super Mario Bros. U, which is available, I believe, on the Switch, and Super Mario 3D World, which, at the time of uploading, I do not believe is available for the Switch, but is rumoured for next year. But that's a whole year away. If you're a fan of action shooters, then I would absolutely recommend Bayonetta 1 and 2. These shooters are smart, sassy, they've got a fantastic storyline to go with them. If you think along the lines of Devil May Cry, then you're not too far off Bayonetta 1 and 2. Now, even if you have just a passing interest in Kingdom Hearts, then this is one of my favourite seasonings. In fact, this is probably my Wii U seasoning flavour of choice. Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two. Other than that, the only other thing I want to add to it is get yourself just a standard third-party controller. It will make life a lot easier on this little system. I can hear you already. the Wii U is not portable. I can literally hear you screaming. And that's what I'm getting at, that you might need to use a combination of consoles to make this idea work. So, if you want portable Nintendo on the go, then why don't you consider getting yourself a 3DS? This is the original model that I've got here. It is perfectly viable in this day and age. However, the new 3DS XL is my personal favourite. The 3D follows your eyes as you move around, so I find the 3D to be a lot more stable. Again, there are hundreds and hundreds of different flavourings and seasonings that you can use for this system. Here are just a few. Keeping in with the theme of Mario, you can have Super Mario 3D Land. If you like your fighting games and you like your girls, then there's always Dead or Alive. If you don't like Mario as much, but you prefer his brother, then there's always Luigi's Mansion 1 and 2. Now I know there's more than a few Metal Gear fans out there, so give Metal Gear Solid 3D a go. A bit of a mediocre game, but if you're a huge Spider-Man fan like me, then Edge of Time in 3D is a lot of fun. Of course it wouldn't be a Nintendo handheld system without a bona fide Pokemon game. I have sunk far too many hours into Pokemon Y than I would actually like to admit. As you can probably tell, I've got more than a passing interest in the Zelda franchise, and so I'm going to add 3 particular Zelda seasonings specifically for this dish. They're going to be the Ocarina of Time, in my opinion, the single greatest Zelda game ever made. You can add a little bit of Majora's Mask in there. All of these are just videos in themselves, to be honest. And then specifically for the 3DS, we have A Link Between Worlds, a fantastic adventure which I'm not ashamed to say actually moved me to tears. As an alternative to RPGs on this system, you could always give Final Fantasy Explorers a go. I'm not sure if the online servers are still up for this game, but when they were, it was great fun partying with up to 4 other people and exploring the Final Fantasy world. You're going to want to leave that to simmer for about half an hour. This is going to be a little bit of a hard sell, but please bear with me. Now, I'm going to consider that the Xbox 360 is a fantastic alternative to the new Xbox. This is by virtue of the fact that it's the only Xbox that I actually own, so that automatically makes it a good alternative for me, and hopefully for you too. Now, the one thing you're going to notice is this is a massive slab of meat. I've actually had it on the stove for approximately 35 days and it's just turning pink now. You are going to need some heavy hitting seasoning for this if you're going to make it a good sell. Luckily, Microsoft and Xbox have the single greatest video game series ever made. We're talking about a high impact. We're talking about a high octane. We're talking about a game with fantastic storylines. We're talking about a series with protagonists that are second to none. I'm talking hard hitting. I'm talking the single greatest series of video games ever made. Have you even got an idea of what series I'm talking about? You are absolutely right. I'm talking about the Madden series. This is a fantastic series of Xbox games, and I'm not sure because I'm not an expert gamer, but I'm almost certain that they actually exist as an IP on other systems as well. Please let me know in the comments. Anyway, we don't need to worry about the rest of that rubbish. This is the only seasoning you're going to need. You could almost just have that on its own, and Madden is a complete meal. Right, so you have had your starters, which was the Wii U. You've popped outside for a cigarette to slate the cook whilst you're playing on your 3DS. You've come back in, you've had your mains, which is the turkey/Xbox 360. Either way, you are absolutely stuffed at this point, but you've just got enough time for pudding. What could pudding be as a good alternative for the PlayStation 5? Again, please bear with me. I'm going to consider a half-decent alternative to the PlayStation 5, the PS4 notwithstanding, to be Sony's last handheld, the PS Vita. Now, The reason that I'm suggesting this is the games are somewhere between PS2 and PS3 standard. They look pretty good, they look pretty crisp, and there are some that are spin-offs of the mainline series, just for instance Uncharted. But the main thing is, you can get yourself a natty little wire, you can connect it via HD to your TV, and there you go. You've got yourself a complete console setup. It is not too difficult to attach a PS3, possibly a PS4 controller, and there you go. You've got yourself a home console. But not only that, and in line with a certain other home console, you can just attach it and take your gaming on the go. That is absolutely going in the pot. You just want to bring that to boil and then it'll be ready to serve. There you go. You've got your entire Xmas video game alternative meal. Hopefully you found that guide fairly useful. The last thing is just going to be the most fun part of preparing any meal. It is time to indulge. It is time for the chef to enjoy their treasures. Enjoy. Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode 25 of Jazzy-Bytes. All I'm really trying to point out and get at is you don't need to throw loads of money at the brand new consoles this Christmas in order to enjoy video gaming fun. There are loads of alternatives out there. There are loads of gifts ideas. And, oh, hang on. Give me just a second. Forget everything I just said, switches are back on the menu.